Alright guys, my name is Chris Gutierrez with Code 3 Motors, longtime paramedic and power stroke mechanic. I've got a 2006 E350 Type 3 by Wheeled Coach as the coach builder. This vehicle has 157,000 miles on it. Drives great, it's really strong. We're going to do a test drive video later. Right now I'm going to give you a walk around tour. We're going to go through all the exterior compartments, then we're going to jump into the back and go through the patient compartment. We're going to cover every switch, every knob, everything that there is to power on and power off. And then we're going to jump in the cab and we're going to go through all the Ford stuff, show you everything works there, and then we'll do our test drive. So as you can see, the paint's in really nice condition. It's a smaller box. This is not a huge box like, for example, that Chevy right there has a massive box on it. This one's a little bit smaller. It's called the City Medic by Wheeled Coach. So it's it's like 3 or 4 inches narrower than a big box, and about 4 inches shorter than a big box. And then the length is a little shorter too, by about 9 inches. But it's not as small as like a mini mod, which doesn't even have dualies, you know. So this is a dually. It does have 6 tires. It's just a slightly smaller box than the big one. So there's the outside. Let's start going through the compartments. The first one is the O2 compartment, and this is set up for an M tank. The regulator is present, so it's ready to put a tank in and go. This is deployment ready, this vehicle. Your Star Life sticker right there from Wheeled Coach is located right there. The big compartment here, and this is also where the inverter is located, and the suction motor is in there as well. So there's that. You can see lots of space. Back here's the backboard compartment, and you will notice it's got a strap to hold them in place. You can put about 4 backboards in there, or 3 backboards in a flat. You'll notice here, let me get my shadow out of the way, there's 4 screws on there. Because the box is aluminum, this is and it's got them right here, and then on the passenger side as well. I'll show you over here. It's because the box is aluminum, so it's not magnetic. So you can't put like your magnetic decals. So if you have like RA 26, like Rescue Ambulance 26, or any kind of identifying numbers, you'd either have to actually put a decal on the vehicle, or you have a system like this where you just have like a metal plate and you can put your magnetic numbers. You can swap them between vehicles in case something's out of service or whatnot. So that's what those are for. If you don't want to use that type of system, you don't have to. So there's that. We'll get in the back in a minute. This compartment is large. You can put extrication equipment in there, or turnout gear, boots, helmets, stuff like that. And then this compartment would be your area for taking everything into your rescue, your jump bag, your portable suction, portable oxygen, monitor, all of that stuff goes there. And then there's 2 batteries and a slide out tray, and the date on those batteries is February 2019, so they're pretty new. Not quite a year old. And this thing does have a battery off on switch on the driver's seat, so you can really conserve the battery without having to connect it to a shoreline. It also has fog lights, which is not super common on an ambulance, but sometimes necessary. So let's get this thing fired up, and we'll jump into the back and start going over everything. All right, let's go back. Oh yeah, so that's the battery switch right there. We have it on, but if you're, back at the station, not planning on running any calls for a while, you can turn that off, and it stops feeding juice to the unit. So here's our back. You can see it's in really nice shape. It's set up for a striker. Power Pro or MX Pro or an Easy Pro, or you could put any of the Furno Pro Flex series in here. The only gurney that won't work with this floor mounting system is a Furno 28 or any variant of the 28. There's like 4 different types. They call them the one-man gurney. That's the only gurney that wouldn't work in here. Most people use a striker, so I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds on gurney. So there's our action wall. Here's just a good overall look. So up here, there's a compartment there for whatever you'd like to put there. This is open for, I'm not really sure to tell you the truth. Usually that compartment would be for a stair chair, but there's no stair chair that I can think of that would fit in there except for one of the older style Furnos that have like a vinyl seat and back. That would fit there, and those are actually my favorite because they're the smallest and most portable. That would fit there as far as stair chairs go, but a striker stair chair would not fit there, or any of the new Furnos that are pretty big and robust would not fit in that space. Down there, there's a place for extra sheets, stuff like that for using the gurney. It's easy accessible from outside the bumper area. Here we have 2 large compartments with an adjustable shelf. Up above, a slightly smaller compartment. It does have a CPR seat on the action wall side, and then there's compartments above the action wall for your BVMs, your O2 mask, cannulas, airways, all that stuff would go up there. You have reach through for the oxygen compartment, suction canister and everything would go there, and our jump seat is there. It does have an integrated child seat. So if you do have a child riding, you can secure them there. If you have, mom's the patient and the kid needs to come with, you can put them there. There is a crack in the seat. It's a little bit of a bummer. This is a 2-piece set. I know that you can buy replacement vinyl if it's a big deal. I personally don't. I've seen much worse than that. With the mileage that this vehicle has 155. I don't see anybody keeping this thing past 2, or it has 157. I don't see anybody keeping this thing past 257. So I would just use that bench seat until it's just toast. And if you're going to put another 100,000 miles on this thing, that would probably take 4 to 5 years if you run a decent call volume. So I really wouldn't do anything else to it. Otherwise we would have done it, because we do stuff like that all the time. But the vehicle's got to have 60,000 miles or something where you're going to end up putting 200,000 on it. So the action wall, here's what we got. Let's see. We've got for our switches, our heat or AC is that button there. You can probably hear that just came on, and right next to it is the speed selector. So it's on medium right now. That's low. You can barely hear that. So there's medium, there's high, and then that's coming right out of there. And then to adjust what temperature, this is our thermostat right there, so you just dial in if you want heat, cool, or somewhere in between. That's how that works. Let's keep it on medium and then turn it off. And then these 2 switches that are next to it, those are our dome lights. So they're separated for the right and the left. There's that is just the low, that's the high. You can see that there, they all work. And then over on that side, that's off, that's low, and that's high. And the reason why these don't go completely off is because we have the back doors open. So as soon as you open the back doors, there's some light while you're loading the patient in, so you're not putting them into a dark cave. Then we have the next switch is our exhaust fan. So if there's odors back here that you don't want to participate in, you can get them out, and it'll suck that out and send it outside. Then we've got our inverter. So the inverter, you can see the light came on. Now our plugs are hot. So there's a plug there. There's probably one in here to charge a monitor. Yeah, there's one right there. Oh yeah, I didn't open this up. This compartment here is all the reach through from the outside compartment right there. So you can access that from inside here. Oops, the other one goes first. And that one. Okay, so there's at least 2 plugs. There's probably another one lurking somewhere else, and I just don't know where it is. So that's the inverter, and then our suction. So you come over here, we have an integrated suction regulator right there, and I'll just put my thumb over this hose, and you can see that's a little high. Let's decrease that to about, no, that's too weak. So how about right there? I like a little bit more than that. That's good. So, and that's how you adjust or increase or decrease your amount of suction, is with that knob there. And then there's cigarette plugs here if you need to charge a phone or do something else. Oh yeah, and there's a little light right there if you want to work on your patient care reports but keep the lights low in here. You can do that. On the bench seat, and you'll notice the upholstery is fantastic on the bench seat, both the back and the bench itself. Underneath there you can stow like Sager traction splints or pillows, blankets, or a KED might fit there. I don't know if a KED would fit, but pillows, blankets, stuff like that. We have there's waste and sharps container that fit underneath there. And then our electronics for all of the everything is, let me open it up here. I'm a big fan of Wheeled Coach electronics. I've never had a problem with Wheeled Coach. Wheeled Coach and Leader have the best electronics of all the coach builders, in my opinion. The only thing that I've ever had to do to a Wheeled Coach is occasionally replace one of these relays, which are like 30 bucks at Napa. You don't have to go through Wheeled Coach for that. Everything else is over-the-counter stuff. You know, these solenoids, which you can, there's one right there. That's like an AutoZone part, you know. There's nothing proprietary about any of these electronics, unlike, say, a Horton or a Road Rescue or AEV. Some of these vehicles have really elaborate electronics. Okay, so let's go up to the cab, and then you'll see, also notice, I'm a big fan of, you can open this window if you want fresh air. That's not something you see very often. So there's that. All right, let's go jump in the front.